We are live. I hope we're live.
It looks like we're live. The red lights are flashing about liveness.
It looks like we are. Do you see me on Instagram? I hope so.
No, I don't. I don't.
What is going on here?
Do you see you on Instagram?
I don't, but I'm going to try again.
What if we talk?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm now live. Excellent. Yes, okay. I'm now live on Instagram, so you should be able to find me. Hello, everyone. Let me see the comments. Oh, lots.
Oh, that's so nice. I love when the comments just pop up. And now I'm asking to go live.
It's okay.
Technology at its finest, isn't it? Do you love this? Here's Jansen and Robin and Judy and Tracy and Jacqueline and Susan and Jan. Oh my golly, this is Tanya. This is great.
Oh wait.
So
comes on.
Hi, Barbara. Hannah's doing something behind the scenes. I'm not quite sure what it is. Oh, I see. It was the echo. The echo had happened again. Oh,
this is the thing, is that we Hank and I welcome everyone, first of all, to First Chapter Fun. Hank and I are on StreamYard first, making sure everything's fine, but we can't check Instagram until we go live. And I am getting feedback, Hank, if you could.
So do you think I should put my headphones in?
Yeah, I think that might be helpful.
Kimberly and Brenda and Grace and Diane and Glennie and Susan. And hi, Kathleen. And we're now doing the technical stuff here. I'm going to put in these headphones. All right. And I see Joan Lang coming in. That's so nice. This is me looking for the headphone slot. Okay.
Lots of people joining. We have Jen Jumbo. We have oh yes, no more feedback. I don't think.
You have it. Imagine.
I think
Hank and Hannah figure out technical stuff. Do you love that?
Always so much fun. So happy. Apparently, I have subtitles.
Are they in English?
On Facebook? That's different. Okay, well, that's all right. We'll just carry on with
subtitles are good. Can't go wrong with that.
Happy New Year, everyone. Almost. I mean, it's a little early, but no.
Those are very high degree of difficulty.
But I have those
things. Hey, Al Pessin is here, and Bonner, and Susan, and this is so great, Diane and Jen Jumba. Should we do this the whole big thing? I'll put on my.
I think so.
I don't know. These are hard to wear, aren't they? I'm not sure how to wear this.
And I won't be able to hold this up either, but I can. I'll have a drink.
Oh, that's. Hannah has a great hat.
I do. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Hello.
I don't know. Do you look like the Monopoly guy or Fred?
I just need a monocle.
So fun. I love it. That's very nice, Hannah. Those are very, nobody wants to put on a silly hat like this. It's a hair-wrecking hat. But those little hats on sticks are very wise. That's a very good thing.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm taking a screenshot.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Wait. I'll put on my hat. Are you guys having fun with us? Having fun? All right, here we go. With 3, 2, 1. There, now you can blackmail with us. That, right? Here's Carmen and Bradley. Hello. And Grace and Lynn. And yes, very festive. It's interesting because on Facebook, we're seeing the comments, but we're doing this through StreamYard. This is more than you ever wanted to know. And so sometimes we can't see who is commenting on Facebook. So if you are doing it a certain way, which I don't know what is, but one way or the other, just put your name. Hi, I see Lynn and Bonner and Linda Cucurulo. Oh my golly, and Lynn Mercado. And Lynn says, I got a great shot. Thank you. I don't know if that's good.
I don't know. That's a good thing.
I don't know. That could be serious. But put who you are so we can know. We love seeing you. And we want to make sure that we welcome you all properly. Speaking of welcome, Hannah, you got a present.
I did. Check this out. First Chapter Fun peeps. Oh, wait, hold on. Can you see that? I think you can. A lovely tea towel and a homemade card. Look at that. It's so cute.
Are they so cute?
So cute, from Jen Jumba. Thank you, Jen. There's such a lovely surprise. Arrived yesterday in the mail. I'm just thrilled. It's so sweet, so lovely. I am not going to use it to ever to do anything with dishes. I shall just keep it close to my heart. Thank you. It's so lovely.
You see mine on the chair behind me. I don't know if you can see it on Instagram.
See it right there. Yeah. See it right there.
You can see it easily. Jen Jumba, thank you. You are the you're the arbiter of adieu, and we cannot do without you. So we welcome you so much in the Cuyahoga County Public Library, where Hannah and I have both spoken, and with much joy. So we welcome you all. Welcome Jen and you all. And Burma Turner, hi. And Al is here, and Allie is here. It's so nice to see you all.
Wonderful. And once again, we are not just going live in First Chapter Fun on Instagram and Facebook, the Facebook group First Chapter Fun, but also on Hank's author page and my author page. So we're actually going live right now in 4 different places. Incredible.
It is incredible. It is incredible. And I see Ann Saller from Book Carnival in Tustin, California, one of my very favorite places to appear and go and chat with her wonderful book club that has like 10 million members. So much fun to go to Book Carnival. And I hope you'll invite Hannah and me to come when the world is right again. We will come and do First Chapter Fun live from the Book Carnival. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. Really cool.
And Karen Hamilton is here, whose book we read as well.
Oh, yes.
Welcome.
Lovely. And we have Sam Bailey as well, Samantha Bailey, who wrote Woman on the Edge. Actually, Woman on the Edge was the very first book I read on First Chapter Fun on March 17th. She was my guinea pig.
And I think her book, Woman on the Edge, as you say, is a very cute guinea pig, is one of the top sellers in Canada this year.
Of the year, yes.
Of the year. And also the other little known fact about Samantha Bailey, the wonderful Samantha Bailey, is that she's the one who told me about First Chapter Fun. So she's the one who introduced me to you in this context. So that's nice. So we thank you, Samantha Bailey.
Yes, thank you, Sam. And I'm not surprised because Sam knows everyone.
It's crazy. It's complete craziness. So we're grateful for that. So it is really fun to see everybody arriving, and this community that has been created, that grew, as we said in the video, from 53 times. Hannah, you did this by yourself every day.
I did.
And then I joined later, and the community has kept growing from how it was at the beginning. Making the video, when you look at that video, wasn't it really fun to see who all has been here and what books we've read and, you know, what new friends we've all made? It's really been kind of in this really nutty, ridiculous year. You know, this has been such a joy.
Yes, it has for me too. It's just twice a week. I know I've got my half-hour bubble of just escape and fun. And today is episode 121. And so Hank always puts the videos together. That's
thank you. Thank you. Let me just interrupt you to say this is episode 121.
121, yeah.
And so soon it's going to be 121. For January of 2021, right? Although not today, but not right now.
Not right now.
but soon it'll be. Jessica Strasser is here, and that is wonderful, and Bonner, and so nice. And we are apparently invited to Book Carnival. So
fantastic.
Put it on your calendar. And Grace Koshida, who lives near you, I think, Hannah, and Patrice Parada.
Yes.
So.
Yes, lots of people joining. And I see Brad is here from Audio Shelf. He says, thank you both for saving this year. Oh, well, maybe a bit of it anyway, but maybe a bit of sanity, I think we saved. But and we have Jordan who says, from Sorry All Booked Up, Happy New Year. You have made 2020 much better. Oh, that's so nice. And that was the whole plan with First Chapter Fun. That was always the plan, just to you know, the clues in the name. I always say, just a bit of fun that we can bring everyone, and a bit of light relief. So, shall we say what we have in store for today?
Well, it's going to be interesting. First of all, we have giveaways. So let's just say that the books we are reading from today, and there will be 2 first chapters. We are giving away a copy of each of the books that we are each reading from. So just for leaving a comment here on Facebook, because as always on Instagram, those silly Instagram people have not designed it so that when we put up the video for you to see later, the comments remain. They do not remain. So you think we should pick 2 winners from Facebook, right, Hannah?
Yes, that would be good.
And we'll do that at random. So first, Hannah will tell you a little bit about, we'll say 5 things about the book I'm going to read. 5 things about the book I'm going to read, and she will reveal what it is. And this is the book that we're giving, one of the books that we're giving away. Okay, Hannah, 5 things.
5 things. So we have Icy Steps, A Grieving Little Boy, A Desperate Stepfather, A Missing Birth Certificate, and A Box in the Woods.
Oh, and the book is?
Da, 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 da. One of mine.
Yay. So those are 5 very tantalizing things, I have to say, Hannah. Was it hard to figure them out?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Was it difficult to figure them out, choose those 5 things?
No, not really. It was okay. That one was okay. Yes.
Sometimes it's hard to do. And Wendy is saying excellent, and people are saying hooray. And Wendy is saying hi for Pennsylvania. And Madeline is here.
We don't normally do this, do we? We don't read from our own books. Only when we have a new release, and then yes, we'll read from each other's. But today we thought we'd take one of the books from our backlist and do that instead.
You know, one of the things you do on New Year's Eve is to look back over your accomplishments in the past. And although you, Hannah, always say this is where we read the first chapter of a new book, not our own.
That's true.
Except on special occasions. And this is definitely a special occasion. It seems like, you know, when it turns over into 2021, things will just flip and be different and be fabulous. But at least, even though that's not true, we will still be here for you reading first chapters. So I will read you now the first chapter of Her Secret Son by Hannah Mary McKinnon.
And I just have to sit here and not cringe at my own words.
Oh no, this is not cringeable in any way. All right. Her Secret Son. They say the lucky ones experience an incredible life-defining moment, a moment they can point back to as the second everything changed. Maybe it was sitting down on the bus next to a stranger who became the love of their life, or witnessing the birth of a child they were told they'd never conceive. Perhaps getting that elusive break the day the boss had the flu, launching a career that until then was only the stuff of dreams. And then there are the others, people like me, who have life-shattering moments instead. We're the ones who want to believe we've had more than our fair share of bad luck, enough misfortune to last multiple lives over. We get comfortable, believe nothing else can go wrong because fate has already played with us the most, seen how far we can be stretched and bent, twisted into the shape of a pretzel before becoming brittle and shattering into a million pieces. For me, one of these moments came late one Friday morning as I stood in Harlan Gingold's dark wood-paneled study, the musty air closing in on me. I pulled at the neck of my sweater in a futile attempt to cool down. I'd forgotten how warm he'd kept this room, as if he secretly longed to be a gecko under a heat lamp and pretend he was somewhere far closer to the equator than the outskirts of Albany in upstate New York. His study smelled of expensive whiskey and Cuban cigars, wizened fingers left to linger in an ashtray. A stereotypical rich man's man cave, complete with leather armchairs and gold-lettered law books, Harlan no doubt cited by heart when he valiantly fought, and usually won, his cases in court. Something he'd done for longer than I'd been alive. We were going over the quote for the pool house extension and elaborate backyard revamp he'd promised his wife for the spring. When he checked the details again, running an index finger down the page, I tried to ignore the buzz of my mobile in my back pocket. Harlan was the kind of man who commanded nothing but your undivided attention. In this case, I couldn't blame him, not with the amount of zeros he was writing on the deposit check my bosses had sent me to collect. My phone rang a second time, while Harlan put the final flourish on the paperwork with his thick Mont Blanc fountain pen. I slid my mobile from my pocket and glanced at the screen. My neighbor's number. Nothing unusual in itself. Mrs. Banks often called for a hand around the house, putting together yet another of her bookcases, repairing the front door, unblocking a sink. Nothing that couldn't wait or would justify the lecture about people's dependence on technology Harlan would no doubt dispense if I answered. "There you go, Josh," he said as he handed me the check. "Thanks," I said. "I'll see you next month?" "Yes, I've no doubt you'll do a great job as always. My yard has never looked better. Those Fraser firs were the talk of the street when they were lit up for Christmas. Even Ivan was impressed." I grinned, thinking I'd enjoy ribbing Ivan about not just paying the compliment forward. I wouldn't give him too much a hard time. He'd become my best mate since we'd met a few years back, and since then he'd pointed a number of his friends and colleagues my way, including the firm's biggest cheese and Ivan's uncle, Mr. Harlan Gingold himself. When I'd told Ivan I owed him one, he'd cheerily replied, "Better make it a big one, whatever it is," before graciously settling for a pair of football tickets I'd got on the cheap. Harlan accompanied me to the front porch where he shook my hand as I ignored the ongoing buzzing of my phone. He lifted his nose toward the dark gray early March skies, swirling with ominous fast-moving clouds, and breathed in deep, nostrils flaring. "Something wicked this way comes," he said. "You'd better batten down the hatches, son. You Brits aren't used to our snow. Tell that lovely wife of yours to keep safe." I didn't bother reminding him Grace and I weren't married or argue that, despite my strong British accent, I'd lived in the US for 20 years. I was only too familiar with the legendary winters. For crying out loud, the city competed in the annual Golden Snowball Award, though it regularly lost to Syracuse. As Grace once said, upstate New York was where lake effect and nor'easter storms mated, making trillions of snowflake babies and everyone's life beneath a frozen misery. When we'd said our goodbyes, I finally pulled my phone from my pocket and trudged to my truck, glancing at the darkening skies and thinking Harlan's prophecy could turn out to be the understatement of the season. Not that I'd mind a blizzard, within reason anyway. It was Friday, the weekend gloriously stretching out ahead of us. As far as I knew, work didn't need me, and Grace hadn't mentioned any special plans. So what if we couldn't leave the house? It would mean a family weekend. Grace, Logan, and I huddled under the blankets in our front of the TV, eating popcorn and watching movies exactly the way we liked it. If I had known what was actually coming, how my life was about to be forever indelibly changed, I wouldn't have grabbed my mobile so hastily. I'd have taken a few moments to savor how my life had become simple again, full of uncomplicated, innocuous decisions. I'd have mulled over my mundane lunch choices, thought about which film Grace and I would watch once we'd tucked Logan up in his bed, what Grace and I would do to each other later after we'd headed upstairs, too. I'd have enjoyed the excitement building in my gut when I pictured the ring I'd hidden in the back of my sock drawer, a gold band solitaire I'd saved up for over the last year in the hope Grace would say yes this time. But I didn't do any of that. Instead, I unlocked my phone, looked at all the missed calls from Mrs. Banks, and dialed voicemail. My brow furrowed as I listened to her message. She sounded unusually high-pitched and grating, breathless even, as if she were in the middle of a 10-mile run, a feat in itself considering she was in her mid-70s and walked with a stick. Josh, it's Mrs. Banks, she said. There's been an accident. Can you call me? Please, it's urgent. Call me now. I pushed a hand against the truck to steady myself. Perhaps her grandson had put his soccer ball through our bathroom window again. Or maybe the mangy dog who'd been hanging around the house, the one I'd caught Logan feeding his breakfast to, had dug up the bulbs Grace replanted twice already. Though I grabbed hold of both ideas like a shipwrecked man to driftwood, I knew from Mrs. Banks's voice it was more serious, way more serious. My next thoughts went to Logan, peppering my brain like fully automatic gunfire. He's hurt. Grace can't call. She's with him, she told Mrs. Banks to phone. How bad is it? He's only 7. Christ, what is going on? When I tried to redial, I missed the button 4 times, my fingers thick and limp as raw sausages, impossible to maneuver. Finally, I pressed the phone to my ear and Mrs. Banks picked up on the first ring. Josh, oh, thank goodness. Her voice sounded shakier than before, and I could barely make out her words with the crackling and whooshing of the wind in my ear. What's happened? I said, an icy hand sneaking its way down to my stomach, grabbing hold of my innards and yanking hard. Is Logan okay? Where is he? Has he? It's not Logan. It's... Saliva collected in my mouth as Mrs. Banks stopped talking. Just as I was about to shout into the phone, demand she tell me what was going on, she very quietly said, It's Grace. My stomach lurched, threatened to empty itself right there on Harlan's driveway. I'd been so sure Logan was hurt. I thought I'd misheard, but she said it again. It's Grace. I opened and closed my mouth 3 times, my tongue refusing to form a single syllable until I finally managed, Is she okay? What happened? I was drinking my coffee by the window. Mrs. Banks' voice sped up, an out-of-control freight train barreling straight toward me. When I saw Grace taking out the garbage, and oh, Josh, she slipped on the steps. Her voice came out garbled now, making it harder for my brain to process what it already struggled to decode. She went down. Where is she? Mrs. Banks' voice fell to a strained whisper, as if she were pressing a hand over her throat, trying to keep her next sentence inside. When she didn't get back up, where is she? Ran over and her voice tailed off, the last syllables gobbled up by a sob. We're outside. The ambulance is here. And the police. You need to come home. Please come home now. But is Grace, she's okay? Has she broken anything? Can I talk to her? Silence. Mrs. Banks, please, is she okay? More silence, a whisper. I don't think so, Josh. I really don't think so. Yes, this was one of those life-shattering moments, an instance I'd point to in the future and say it was the second everything changed. And I was right, except that worse, far, far worse, was still to come. Okay, now I ask you, is there any among us who would not turn the page instantly? Raise your hand. I can see you raising your hand. That is so great. Just keep reading more. Pre-order. You don't need to pre-order because this, hold it up, Hannah, is Her Secret Son is available right now. You can go get it right now. Not right now. Not right now.
Wait.
But it is available right now. And I know that you will. I mean, how good a first chapter is that? That's like a textbook masterclass in first chapterization, isn't it? It's just great. Hannah, hooray and love Her Secret Son.
Thank you. I'm blushing now.
You're getting applause throughout 4,000 or 5,000 Facebook pages and Instagram pages. So that is so great.
And
Thank
we had
letting me read that
question. Oh, let me pop this one up from Susan. She asked if we're more critical of books we've written as others read them aloud, or are we able to sit back and enjoy them?
What do you think, Hannah?
I think because this one came out in 2019, I have a bit more distance from it. And also because I absolutely loved the character Josh. I had a total crush on him. And I could say that because he's not real. It's okay. But I loved spending time with him and developing his character. That it's, and I still feel bad about what I did to him. So
that's very sad, Hannah.
It is. I feel bad.
But it's it's very well written. Well, it's kind of interesting because first of all, it depends on who's reading it, actually. If they get what I've written. I mean, when the audiobook auditions come in and I can hear the actors read, and some of them get it. I mean, they completely get the tone and the writing and the parallel construction and all that sort of stuff. And if they don't, it's very frustrating. One of the things about my books too is that I read them out loud to myself before I turn them in to see if they sound right. Nevertheless, in answer to your question, Susan, it is just, I just sort of have my fist clenched as I'm hearing someone read. No pressure, Hannah. Because I think, I wonder if I could have done that differently. I wonder, I said that word 2 times. I wonder if this could have been better. We're all so critical of ourselves that it's very difficult to separate our own little inner editor, even when the book is being read so fabulously. So most of me is just happy that I've, after all these millions of years, I wrote my first book at age 55. So it's very nice to be so lucky as to have books that are actually published that someone could actually read, right, Hannah? So
absolutely,
that's a good thing.
Absolutely, that was a great question. Lynn says, could you please hold the book up again? Sure. There we go.
Just ask us. We'll hold up that book.
Hide behind it. And now, hold on. Let me, please sign the books for the winners. Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
We have one user who says, requesting her secret son from the library when I can take control of my phone back from Facebook. Not now.
Not now.
Not yet.
Also, let me say that when Hannah reads, I can't pop up captions on my screen because Hannah has control of all the technical stuff. So who knows what she's going to put up? But there won't be captions for Hannah's read because I just have to sit here, as we all do, and read it without and hear it without captions. So
So tell us about what I'm going to be reading then.
Okay, so 5 things about this book. 2 mothers of toddler daughters, a controversial verdict in a murder case, a photograph with writing on the back, a broken toaster that catches fire, and an unfortunate second glass of champagne.
Ooh. And how did you find finding the 5 things? Was it tricky?
Well, yes, because it's kind of interesting because you want to give the sense of the book without giving anything away.
Exactly.
Right. So my goal is to have you say, "Ooh, I want to read this book."
Yes.
And so I was hoping that some of those things, all of which are true, would be tantalizing. And you know what this book is, right? It is my first standalone. Trust me. Oh, Hannah, that's so nice to see you. And I want you to all to see the trick of the cover. If you hold it this way, you see how it says L.
No, it's not going to let me do it.
No, it's impossible to do. See how the red letters underneath say liar?
That's clever.
Isn't that so clever? I just burst into applause when the art department from the publisher sent me that. So, and that is the essence of the book, that someone is lying, but you don't know who it is.
All right. So here we go. That's your turn to sit back and listen. And for me to, I'm reading for Hank. Oh my gosh. Let me get rid of, hold on. Now I can't see. Oh, look, hold on. No, this is what I was going for. Deborah Lynn says, I just bought this one. It's on deck.
Oh, thank you, Deborah. Thank you. And I think Deborah's birthday was just the other day. Wasn't it? Happy birthday from First Chapter Fun.
All right, so here we go. This is Trust Me by Hank Phillippi Ryan. There's a very short prologue and then chapter 1. So here we go. Using one forefinger, I write on the bathroom mirror, drawing through the steamy condensation left by the shower. This morning's number is 442. 442 days since the car accident that destroyed my family, the crash that took Dex and Sophie from me. The numbers disintegrate as I write them. They melt into watery tears, then disappear. I would give anything. I would do anything. Longing, unbidden, unwanted, hits me hard as I look at my reflection. We make those offers every day, filling in our own personal blanks. If you make this happen, we promise, I'll give up drinking or speeding or whatever. If only you'll give me what I want, I'll be a better daughter, a more reliable husband, a more devoted wife. Make my wish come true and I'll do anything. We bargain, negotiate, make deals with the universe. Eventually, certainly, inevitably, we'll get what we want. Then the universe laughs, and we are left to bargain with ourselves. Chapter 1. Do you know me? Of course I'd seen those billboards, the posters, the full-colour composite drawing plastered on every TV screen and newspaper. So was everyone else in Boston, if not everyone on the planet. The poor little girl, everyone said. Who is she? Someone must miss her. And those who still had daughters of their own drew them closer or whispered warnings or kept one protective hand on the cart as they shopped for groceries. Mercer, can you handle it? Catherine's voice on the phone softens with concern. You need to get back to work. I guess I've been silent, thinking about baby Boston longer than I realized. You okay? She persists. Yeah, I'm fine. Kath wants me to write the inside true story of this gruesome crime. I sink into my chair in the study. Can I handle it? To be honest, I'm not sure. This book will be an instant bestseller, kiddo. It'll put you back on the map. Catherine charges ahead, persuading me. Toddler killed and dumped in Boston Harbor, and now the mother's on trial for the murder. Sorry, I'm horrible, and I know it's short notice, but you're the only writer who can do this justice. Can I tell them yes? Good thing she can't see the look on my face. Having the sensationally tragic murder of a child be the best thing that's happened to me in a while is probably not socially acceptable. Since people finally left me alone, I've gotten out of practice being socially anything. I hadn't heard from my former editor for months, not since I stopped returning calls. And now this, a job offer. All I'd have to do, Catherine Kraft explains, is, starting tomorrow, watch the courtroom testimony through the same video feed the TV stations use, then write an instant book about the baby Boston murder trial. Of course you could watch it on regular TV, she says, but what if some moron producer decides it's boring, or they cut away for the dog in the well or some phony news? Can't rely on them deciding what to broadcast. So getting you the full feed is perfect. I tried to get you a seat in court, sweetheart, but it's too late to get you in. Just as well, I don't say. Face all those people? Kath then offers me $15,000 up front, with another $15,000 after the verdict when the book hits the market. Hefty royalties after that. I do need the money. Unless she's not guilty. Catherine's voice is infinitely dismissive. Like that's going to happen. But when Aisling Bryant is convicted, you'll be Mercer Hennessy, best-selling author. I promise. That'd be good. More important, though, I'll never admit it to Kath. The book might give me a reason to get up in the morning. It's never the mother, right? She keeps up the pressure and assumes she knows best. The boyfriend, maybe, or the father, but the mother? This is pure crazy. Right. It's never the mother, except when it is. And in this case, it is. And yes, pure crazy. Kath's in her Back Bay office. I'm in my little suburban study, but I can picture my former editor's expression. It's the same baffled one I see on the TV talk shows and when I fidget in line at the coffee shop. People asking each other, what kind of monster mother could kill her own 2-year-old? I search for a gruesome enough word. The mother is definitely guilty this time. I'd already devoured every newspaper and magazine article and watched every newscast and feature story revealing every heartbreakingly disgusting detail about the missing, then found little girl, even the online TV stories from the Ohio stations. At first, I couldn't stop weeping for that poor dead child. Then more tears as I shared her mother's certain anguish. Easier to fill my brain with someone else's grief, hoping to replace my own. Not completely successful, but better than emptiness. When Tasha Nicole was finally identified, I actually thought about calling Aisling, thinking, ridiculously, I could comfort her by sharing some maternal bond, each of us lost in grief and mourning our treasured baby daughters. Now it turns my stomach to think of it, how she duped me, duped everyone. After the breaking news of her arrest, I could have murdered Aisling myself, and no jury would have convicted me. Nurse, you there? She's in full pitch mode, as if we still work together, still talk every day. Go for it, honey. Say yes. It's been long enough. You have to get back to work. You have to do something. Do something? Do? I almost yell at her. But she means well. And she'd stuck by me through the days the sun went out and the shadows closed in. Kath understands as much as anyone can. It's unfair for me to take my grief out on her. Is she right? Is there something I can do? Maybe for Sophie and for Dex. Maybe to make up for what happened to them. To accept that I'm the one who's left alive. I'm not fooling myself. I can never actually accomplish that. But at this moment, I feel Dex urging me to do it, to use my words to right a wrong, to strive for justice like he always did. What's more, he whispers, you could at least honour Sophie's memory. Yes, Dex is right. Yes, I'll do it, to avenge baby Boston, and I'll secretly dedicate this book to Sophie, to every little girl unfairly wrenched away from the world. The more I think about it, the more I know I can do it. I yearn to do it, physically, mentally, emotionally, do it. Plus, writing a book beat out the options I'd already contemplated. Maybe I'll burn down the house. I'd actually said that out loud only a few days before Catherine called, though there was no one to hear me. I'd visualised the flames too, visualised the nursery furniture, its pink rosebuds and indulgent ruffles blackened by flames, the sleek suits Dex wore to court, and Sophie's daisy jammies and her plushy animals, the wedding photos and the toothbrushes and the... There's so much of our stuff. What would I feel as the Linsdale firefighters battled hellish flames and choking smoke, attempting, yet ultimately failing, to save any evidence the Hennessy family existed? I wouldn't live to find out. That was the point. Merce, Catherine prompts. Putting Kath on speaker, I get up from my desk chair and retie the strings of my sweatpants, yanking them tighter. The sweats, black and soft and now grotesquely too big for me, are extra large. Not mine. His. Dex won't be needing them. No matter how many days go by, I'll never get used to that. Yeah, well, maybe. I pace to the bookshelves and back to the desk, trying to gauge whether I'm the crazy one. Come on, Merce. The jury's chosen. All the boring motions out of the way. It's all on camera now. You just dig up the deets on the nutcase mother. Catherine's voice follows me, reprising the fast-talking, cajoling editor tone she'd used on me and her other underlings when we were all at City Magazine. This year, she began acquiring for Arbor Inc., the megaco that owns City and a bunch of other publications, including Arbor's true crime imprint. I know you're like another body in Boston Harbor, she goes on, but you've got to see this one's different. It's not a mob hit on a snitch, not some heroin addict's poor abused child, not a gang turf war. The killer is the gorgeous young mother next door. Ashlyn. I mean, even her name's perfect. You can't turn on the TV without seeing that clip of her, all petulant and pouting off to jail. So we'll need you to convey, the secret torment of the seemingly typical suburban family. Give it the feel of real. The feel of real. Got it. I'm a writer. I'm a storyteller. I take the facts and make them fascinating. This story doesn't need much help in that department. Like In Cold Blood, Catherine continues, as if I've said yes. Narrative nonfiction, reportage. Truman Capote simply imagined half that stuff, made up dialogue. How else could he write it? But you can do it, Merce. I know you can. Well, okay, I say. Deal. She thinks she's convinced me. I'll let her believe that. Terrific! I'll email the paperwork. There's no one better for this job. You'll kill it, Catherine says. Oh, sorry, honey, but you know what I mean. You okay? Sure. She doesn't know the half of it. Talk soon. I hang up the phone, looking out my study window, down my flagstone front walk and my quiet neighbourhood, still serenely green on a September morning, as if nothing has changed, as if my Sophie was still alive, and Dex too. Funny what strength there is in purpose. Rot in hell, Ashlyn Bryant, I say, and then, this is for you, darling ones. But of course, they're not here to thank me. Wow, that's just that was amazing. That is just so gripping, because you've got so much going on. You've got this baby Boston, and she's lost her family, and she's got to write this book. And how do you deal with that? You've lost your own child, and now you're going to cover the murder of another. It's just, incredible writing. You know how much I love your writing.
Well, amazing. Thank you. It's really, I'm just sitting here staring at the screen as you're reading this. It's really quite, Trust Me was my first standalone. And it was one of those, it's difficult to do, as you know, creating this whole new world. And I started because I was thinking, how would you write a true crime book? How was In Cold Blood written? How did he know? Part of it had to be made up. And I started thinking, how can you write a true crime book if you can't find out what's true? And that was the essence of this. So I loved hearing you read it. I thought it was going to be just all very cavalier, but I really, I'm just fascinated by it. Thank you. I'm so honored that you read it. Thank you.
Oh, well, likewise. Oh, we have a question from Mary here.
Okay.
Well read. Could you repeat the 5 things for me?
Oh, yes. The 5 things of Trust Me. Sure. 2 mothers of toddler daughters. A controversial verdict in a murder trial. A photograph with something written on the back, a toaster that catches on fire, and an unfortunate second glass of champagne.
That's just, I like the unfortunate second glass.
Yeah.
We've probably all had 1 or 2 of those.
Yes, indeed, especially on New Year's Eve. Very meta.
Yes. Oh, this is so sweet. There you go. Yes, Hank, your expression was so involved with the story. It made me think you knew nothing of the story. beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so lovely. Such a shame we can't show these comments on Instagram at the same time. These comments that we get on StreamYard. Al on Instagram just said second glasses are never unfortunate. Oh, he says third maybe.
Third, okay.
I
never
don't
have a third glass of wine. Never. You can take that to the bank. Never.
I don't drink much these days, so I'm a very cheap date. So
there are some indelible rules of the universe. Don't cut your own bangs. Don't have a third glass of wine. Don't take the last ski run. That's if you think, oh, I'll just do one more. Don't do that.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, and we have a second glass of champagne should not be unfortunate. I don't know. It depends on the circumstances.
Definitely.
So, what's everyone up to? I know we've gone way over our normal half an hour, but anyone doing anything for New Year's Eve? What are you up to, Hank? Anything?
Well, it's so funny. We're so old. We're Zooming with friends, but at 10. Everybody's very relieved not to have to stay up until midnight. It's interesting. We have a group of pals, 6 or 7 couples, and for the past, I want to say 20 years, we've alternated New Year's Eve dinners at people's homes where each person brings something and the host brings the main course. So we've done that, and we play charades and games and that kind of stuff. And by 11:30, we're all, oh, please, can we just go home?
Pretend.
Yeah. So this year we're Zooming. What about you, Hannah?
Well, it's just going to be the 5 of us. So we'll probably end up watching a movie, and if we make it to New Year, I'm sure the boys will force us to stay up until midnight, which is fine. So we'll just, much like Christmas Eve, really. Christmas Eve was watching Die Hard because it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
It is. So we'll probably watch something tonight. We decided, because we had a raclette on a cheese dish on Christmas Eve, and then a brisket thing for Christmas Day, and I said, I don't want to cook on New Year's Eve because it's not really a break, is it? So we decided we're going to order in Thai, and I can't wait.
Oh, yummy! Oh, I haven't had that since the beginning of the pandemic. That is. Can I come over?
Sure.
Jonathan and I will be there. So that's just that. I think there's a Thin Man marathon on TV. So we might watch the Thin Man. I think there's also a Godfather marathon. So it sort of depends on how you want your year to be. So
yes. And have you taken any decorations down yet?
Have we put any decorations up yet?
Oh, okay.
I got a wonderful wooden star covered with sequins from a friend, Anne Marie. And so I hung that on the chandelier of our kitchen. And so that's our decoration, for which we are very grateful. And we have flowers.
Oh, nice. So for
tonight, we'll all have our hats.
Yes, we'll have I have that one, and all my other ones. We decided to take to take the Christmas decorations down today. I read somebody said, I can't remember if it was on First Chapter Fun or not, but they said they didn't. No, it was in a different Facebook group. They said they took their decorations down, their Christmas decorations. If you celebrate Christmas, they took them down on New Year's Eve and put some New Year's Eve decorations up because they didn't want to mix 2020 with 2021. And I thought, you know what? I'm all over that. So we took the Christmas stuff down earlier this morning because it's time for 2021, which has got to be at least quadruple the fun because 2020 sucked.
It really was, you have to admit, except for First Chapter Fun. And I think we all have things that we learned from it, to be grateful that you don't have to wear something new every day, that little things don't really matter, that we're grateful for people that we love. I mean, all those kinds of realizations. I mean,
yes.
I think we have those, but basically, the worst thing that has ever happened to everybody. I mean, and that's kind of impossible to have said.
Yes. Yes, to everyone at the same time. Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful for all the new friendships that happen, especially this one, without Corona, maybe First Chapter Fun would never have happened. Who knows? And my writing career did well this year. You know, Sister Dear was a bestseller, so that was all lovely. But yes, the whole just looking at what's going on in the world has been.
How many weeks was it a bestseller, Hannah?
6.
6 weeks. A
Yeah.
bestseller for 6 weeks. That's amazing. Yay.
Yeah, that was lovely. That was lovely. That was really, yeah, that was a highlight, I have to say. That got me through a number of things over the summer. Yeah. So we have people saying what they're doing. Staying home. SM Guy says she's staying home. We have lovely little champagne. Can't show these on Instagram, but we have 2 glasses clinking. So cheers to 2021. This is a great comment. Lynette says, I might be tempted to drink boatloads of caffeine so I can stay up until midnight to make sure 2020 doesn't turn into some kind of Groundhog Day or year nightmare. LOL. Yes, please. Don't want to do this one again.
Let that be gone. Maybe we should have some sort of a chant or something.
Yes.
That says, go away, go away, go away.
Yes.
So I agree with you, though, Hannah. You know, there certainly wouldn't have been First Chapter Fun without the pandemic.
No.
But let me just say that after the pandemic, there will still be First Chapter Fun. So, pandemic, we don't need you for this.
Yeah,
you know,
get out of here.
Exactly. We have gone on way too long.
We have, but this has been brilliant, seeing so many people both on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve celebration. And we have to still tell you what's coming up.
Exactly.
Our first book of 2021 will be, are we ready?
We're ready.
There we go. Little Lovely Things by Maureen Joyce Connolly. This is what we'll be reading from on Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram at First Chapter Fun, which is right here, and on Facebook, in the Facebook group at First Chapter Fun. So if you are watching this video, if you caught it on Hank's author page or on my author page on Facebook, be sure to join the Facebook group at First Chapter Fun. And that way you can watch episodes twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday, the days with a tea with Hannah and Hank at 12:30 p.m. when we broadcast on Facebook and Instagram simultaneously, providing the tech allows.
Exactly. And I see so many people saying thank you and Happy New Year, Catherine and Wendy and Linda and Deborah and Tanya and Barbara and Catherine and Allie. This is just, we adore you. We love you. We think of you so often. We have so many wonderful books coming next year. You just, we're thrilled about it, and we cannot wait to read them to you.
Can't wait. So we'll see you next year. That's what my parents used to say to us when we were little. My sister and I, they'd go to bed, or they put us to bed, I should say. And they'd say, okay, see you next year. And we would freak out because we didn't realize next year was tomorrow. So see you next year, everyone.
Every parent says that, and every child giggles and tries to figure out, how can that be? Are they going away? But we will be here, no question about it. And until then,
stay safe.
Stay kind.
And we'll see you on Tuesday.
Next year.
We'll see you next year. Yay. Thank you for watching.